you guys hear me? Yes. So, I just want to ask, how many of you here is a Photo4Good? Wow, that's a lot of you. So, does anyone not know what Photo4Good does? Or any idea? Ashika came 2 days ago. What did we do? Yes, we do that. So today we're hosting this photography workshop where our guest speaker, Dr. Yeung. Thanks. All right. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Our guest speaker, Dr. Yeung. Actually, I don't know this because you guys are small. He's gonna be coming later, and he's gonna talk to you about like the fundamentals of photography, how to shoot, and what types of photography there are. But before he comes and before we like officially start, Faith has prepared a kaput, which is kind of like a general introduction to who we are. I promise it's gonna be fun. It's not gonna be like school. Yeah, and then we're gonna have pizza and cupcakes and cake pops later on. So you guys can get excited for that. We also have drinks over, so like just feel free to grab your drink, go to the bathroom, go anywhere. It's really chill. So, like, don't feel like it's school yet. Really, thanks guys. You want to say something? So, oh, by the way, I need to introduce myself. So I'm Charlotte. Nice to meet you guys. I haven't met you. I'm the head of photography and also one of the co-presidents. This is Ethan. He is the head of marketing here.
You said it for me. I'm Ethan. I do marketing for Photo4Good, and we work together to run Photo4Good with Charlotte and Faith. Hope you enjoy the workshop today.
Faith is the head of communications. So
yeah.
Can we get
Let's get it started.
Hello? Where are you guys? Are you guys lost? Yeah, Remix Center, right? Photographer sign up page. Unplugging. Hi, welcome guys. Feel free to grab a drink and come sit down. photographer, you basically just click apply now, and then it'll take you to a Google form. Oh, okay. You can edit, and, yeah, you just have basic personal details, and then we ask you to upload a couple of your photographs, and then so we kind of know like what's your style and what's kind of like your level. Yeah, and then after you click submit and everything, we'll get back to you, and you're officially a photographer. So what you do as, I guess, an official photographer, if you go back to our website and look at events. So this is our event calendar. These are some of the upcoming events that we have. So as you guys just saw earlier, we partner with different NGOs and charities to shoot photos and sometimes videos at different events. Some of the events we've had in the past include workshops, hikes, soccer games, dinners. Basically, there's a whole variety, and you guys can sign up however you want. This is one of our next events. It's a breakfast conference. You guys can just click shoot and then put in your details. We will be notified of your sign up. We'll send you confirmation email of the event it's going. We'll tell you like, who to contact, where to go to take photos. So it's very easy. So, yeah, and in December we have a couple events. We have the breakfast conference. We also have, I think, a party, gala dinner, small talk circles, which is like 2 hours where there's this person talking about different social issues. There are parties in January as well. So I think before the end of November, we'll send out an event calendar to all registered photographers. We have all your emails, and we'll send out an event calendar talking about these events, reminding you to sign up. So if any of you guys are free, you guys can note it down on your calendars. Yeah, just sign up. The speaker is very late. It's okay. Have you seen some of the photos on our photo? By the way, these ones are really old and we haven't updated these in a long time. So yeah, you can see these are a variety of events we have. So some of them are talks, soccer games, performances. Yeah. There's a whole wide range of events that we shoot. Kids, adults, corporate events. I know some people might be kind of intimidated in the first shoot. Like for me, I was also kind of intimidated. So my first time shooting for Photo4Good as a regular member was last year in October. And even though I had been doing photography for some time, I was still kind of like, oh, it's like a real photography event, right? Like, what if I take back photos? What are, I guess, some keys to overcoming your psychological fear? Would just go ahead and take photos, because most of the NGOs are actually really nice people, and they understand that we're all students here, and it's okay if we don't take like professional photographs. And you're gonna learn, obviously, with more events that you go to, the more experience you accumulate. And hopefully, this can help you become a better photographer and also build some connections with some different NGOs where you can help them with other things, or maybe they can also help you once they've gotten to know you. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not the most interesting stuff, actually, like being a photographer for like a whole year. Not the most interesting stuff, I know, but the experience is good because it's in like a semi-professional setting where you can not do well and still get away with it. So you can practice a lot, and it's like fitting to your schedule. So whenever you're available, you can sign up for it. I have a tip for every one of you for like any events is to use silent shutter if you have it, because I've seen many photographers not use it and it's kind of distracting. the people are gonna like look at you weird. Not look at you weird, but they're gonna like notice you. But if you use silent shutter, it's much more low key, and you can get nicer photos, in my opinion, because they don't know what you're doing. You just do whatever you would do.
Some people, like when they take photos of, like, I guess people in workshops, they stick their cameras like just right in front of their faces. That is like kind of rude. So don't do that if you ever shoot. Yeah, just try to be as discreet as possible.
Yeah, and it's a good way to like test out your lenses if you have like, more than one. For sports, you can do fast shutters and stuff. If you've never done that, you can try that because it's difficult. But the way I try it is with like on the streets when there's motorcycles. How many of you adjust your like speed up to really high to get it to work? So that's how you like learn from the events, not just. I recommend not just using auto for everything. They can learn photography through this, and you can like talk to them in your events. You can talk to the people there, and they can get to know you kind of. And also the people at the events, they are also like, all of them are usually very into like social stuff, social issues, and like, they want to help the society in any way that they can. Lots of them are like university students and young people just like you guys. So I don't know, maybe you can just talk to them and know more about them, more different things. I've learned a lot through these events from like gender issues in Hong Kong and like gender violence issues from results workshops because I've went to a lot of those. And you learn not just about photography but about any topic depending on what event is being hosted. So I strongly encourage you.
I saw some of you sign up with Sophia. Thanks for signing up. Yeah, like if you guys want to sign up now, that's fine as well. Because our guest speaker is kept down. So I'm sorry about it. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions about what we do or like photography in general? Like if you want to get started in event photography or anything? Yes.
It's kind of, well, they some outsiders here because we are always talking about students. Are your group only accept students per se, or do you also open for aside visitors?
Oh yeah, sure. Like even though we're mainly high school students, we did have one university graduate, and we're certainly open to other people coming to join as well. Like we would love for you to come take photos with us. Like, certainly.
During our train racing or marathon races, most of our photographers are volunteers. But then, if they are not well known, for example, if they are not, you don't know their page, you cannot take your pictures. And of course, if you are racing, you don't want to take photograph of yours in the memory. So sometimes some of the races, we are asking for photographers because it's mountain and sometimes it's very difficult to go on the top or some of the positions, but not some volunteers are going.
We would certainly love to help with marathons. You can just send us. We have the NGO page or like other organizations page where you can just like shoot us a contact form or an email. We would love to come to
Us to walk through how you can do that is to
work with
us.
organizations.
So if you just go to our website and click on that and then fill in your information, that's how you get in contact with us.
Any other questions? Our food is not here yet. I know you guys are concerned about that. Talk around with other people. You can get drinks, yeah.
Got food.
a permanent member of the Photographic Society in Hong Kong and also a Row of Distinction in the UK Royal Photographic Society. So today he's going to tell us a bit about different types of photography, some fundamentals of photography. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Yeung, for coming. Give the mic.
Yeah, welcome. And it's my pleasure to talk to you, right? Share with you young people, all right? And about my background as an orthopedic surgeon, all right? It's a little bit of delay today. There's some traffic and also my knee. I got my operation 2 weeks ago. I sprained my knee accidentally, so that I walk a little bit slow today. But anyway. Now, today's topic we share with you is the art of creative photography. I think you have seen the, I have been sent to you the summary, right? Next slide, please. Now, what's photography? Anyone want to tell me? Now, just look at these this workflow. They are, back there. Photo means light, all right? Light or photo, all right? Graphy is a sketch or image or a drawing or something. You call it graphic, all right? Graphic. So, in fact, photography is the capture the light to create an image. That's simple, right? This is a straightforward explanation. Right. Next slide, please. Well, I always ask myself, is photography an art of subtraction? Now, what is the art of addition? Do you know of any art of addition? An art which is you add on more, many. For example, anyone? Painting. You paint, you create, suppose you go to a beautiful landscape, all right, beautiful scenery, you want to draw or paint that scenery. You step by step and then add on more the trees, the mountains, the river, all sorts of things. So it's called the art of addition. All right. Many arts are we call the art of addition. Before I go on, most of you got the camera with you. You have been photographing for a long time, is that right?
There's a variety, because some of them have been taken photos for some time, some of them have
Okay. So basically, this answer, photography, art of subtraction, yes or no, all right? In the film era, I was brought up in the film era. That's I'm taking picture with the film negatives or slide positive films. At that area, that era, this really is the art of subtraction. So we saw a beautiful scenery, for example, and I will concentrate on certain parts I would like to capture. All right. So you minus all those busy stuff. You do not want it to go into your picture. All right. This is a subtraction. All right. Basically. But now, because of the invention of the digital sensor and all the software, Photoshop or whatnot, people now going to add on many things to the original photos. So If you call it a true or genuine art of subtraction, is may not be totally correct. Okay. The other thing is that some other branch of photography, they will, especially those designs, right? They add on more. And the other technical side is double exposure. Did you heard of the double exposure in taking photos? There's some camera, you have in-body function. You can take one picture, and then you take another one, and then two images stacked together, right? So this is addition, all right? But however, the main concept of photography, I'll show you later, mainly, really is the art of subtraction. For my batteries is going out. Next slide, please. Now, I'll give you an example. This is the Victoria Fall in Africa. It's the second largest waterfall in the world. Right? The first one is the Iguazu in South America. This is the second largest. Right? The Victoria Fall in Middle Africa. So there's a lot of water vapor, so you got the rainbow. I'm sitting in the helicopter and then flying round and round, right? What do you think of that? Anybody?
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. But however, next slide please. You got this one, it's the same. Alright? Now this is the same, but I subtracted. Now back one slide. I only use this part. Now the next slide. What's the difference? Which is more beautiful? Which is more appealing? Second one. Why? The rainbow is here. There's nothing there, but there's something there, but you not see very clear. There's a mystery behind. Is there a river there below? Is there some plants there? The people looking at this, the mind will be thinking, what's that behind the water, the falling water, right? That's one much better. But you ask me, why don't you take this picture in the helicopter? Because the helicopter is going very quickly. I do not have too much time to frame my pictures, right? So that I get a larger view later. Well, this is better, and I subtract it and go to this one. Okay? Next slide. Now there are three basics of creative photography. Next slide, please. You need to get your gear, right? Either the camera is the one to capture the light to give you an image, right? Either use a mobile phone or DSLR, right? And or film camera or digital camera. So long you get a camera with you, all right? You can create. In fact, the mobile phone can perform a great job, all right? If you do not have a camera, you have a phone, all right? A phone can give, then well, if you use it nicely, it will give you lots of good pictures. Okay. Next slide, please. You have some called the compact cameras, right? The sensor is relatively smaller. You can put it in a pocket. It's good for traveling or documentation, right? This is a digital single lens reflex, all right? It's called the APS-C. It's smaller sensor or crop sensor. This is a digital mirrorless camera. It was a full frame camera. What's a full frame? This full frame is when we are in the film era. There's we call 35 millimeter film or negative, right? So this is called the full frame. Of course, there are larger formats, 120, all sorts of things, bigger, but it's not popular. All right, you got this one. It's usually got professional studio types of work. All right, ordinary. Most of us will use this one, or this one. All right. This is a crop 1.5 to 1.6 area against the full frame. This is the crop sensor. When we are using the film era, we have the half frame camera. It's similar to this one. And the 35 millimeter film, usually 36 film, but we use the half frame with times 2. We can use up to 72 pictures. All right. Next slide, please. Oh, you can use the phone. The phone now, the camera in the phones are very good. Can produce a number of good pictures. This mirrorless camera nowadays very popular because they get away with the prism to reduce the weight and to increase the some other performance and reduce the size of the camera. Next slide, please. There are fixed focal length lenses or prime lenses. Most often is called a standard lens is the 50 millimeter. Why called standard lens is the lens we like as a look at you. Alright, the image produced like a very natural, like the eye looking. Alright, so called a standard lens. Alright, it's 50 millimeter with a full frame. Alright, full frame. If you use an APS-C, you need to multiply by 1.5. That means it's around 75 millimeter if you use in an APS-C or a crop sensor camera. Then it's become what? A portrait lens. This is a portrait lens. 70 to 50 to 90 is called a portrait lens. Suppose I want to photo using this 85, this magnified view become usually used for portrait. All right. This is a wide 20 millimeter. This is a super wide or ultra wide 50 millimeter. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. There are also ultra wide angle lens with the mirrorless. All right. Next slide. Fish eye wide angle lens. Fish eye will be all the image will be curved because of the distortion. All right. We usually use the distortion to enhance something you like to express. All right. Next slide. Now this is the distortion. Is become curved the edge. In fact, I picked this picture very, very close, just a few feet. All right. I put the camera there and then there. All the things just a few feet more from, all right, very close. So you got the distortion to increase the impact, the visual impact. Right. Next slide. Standard zoom lens. Standard zoom lens usually, for full frame is from 28 to 120. All right. This one is 28 to 120. Why call standard zoom? Because it includes a 50 millimeter area. I told you 50 millimeter prime lens, standard lens is called a standard, all right? If you have a zoom lens include a 50 for full frame, all right, it's called the standard zoom, all right, standard zoom. The zoom lens have the ability to zoom from wide to some sort of a tele. This is good for travel or give you flexibility, right? But the drawback is that because it's a zooming, the aperture, later I'll talk about the aperture cannot be very large. And also, because there's a lot of elements, lens element, there will be distortion. Do you know what is distortion? There will be a barrel or pin cushion distortion at the edge especially, and also chromatic distortion or aberration. Chromatic aberration is the problem of zoom lens, right? Anybody know about chromatic distortion? Chromatic. Now you just have, I show you a rainbow. Do you remember the waterfall? If the light go through a prism, will scatter the light into rainbow, 7 colors. If the lens is not good, there will be some refraction, the light refraction. That means the light deflect. So instead of the light being white, become spread out, then you can sometimes at the edge, especially this room, you can see fringes, red or green fringes. All right, this is called chromatic aberration. All right, there's a problem with the zoom lens, but the good zoom lens will minimize this to a lesser degree. All right, but you have the convenience from a wide to tele, very far or close. But the thing is that the drawback is that you have chromatic aberration, you have less, the quality, the image quality is not as good as the fixed focal lens, all right, or called the prime lenses, all right. Fixed focal lens, you can very sharp images, no distortion if it's a very good manufacturer, okay. And this is the ultra wide angle zoom. This is also zoom, all right. Next slide. Now this is, I just told you, this is all-in-one walking lens. This is 18 to 250 APS-C. If this is 18, if you convert to a full frame, it's around 27. You need to multiply by 1.5, all right? 1.5. APS is a prop sensor, all right? If this is a full frame for full frame lens for full frame camera, this one is 24 to 240. So this is from wide angle to a good 10, well, 220, 240 is quite far. You can zoom quite far, all right? This is a wide angle, this is a 10, all right? So this one is also a full frame, all-in-one walking lens, is 28 to 300. All this I show you is a decent type of all-in-one, all right? Some other lenses are lousy, all right, not good. But this I show you is fairly good, all right? This one is very light. This is Sigma 118 to 25. This helped me got a lot of prizes, all right? Because It's light, it's easy to carry. This one also, this heavier, is a full frame. Next slide, please. Now, how do you care for a camera and lenses, all right? Well, because as Hong Kong is, the humidity is very, very high, all right? And you need to take care of the lenses. If this fungus invaded in the lens, you get blurring of the lenses. And you bought $10,000 for one lens, and then, wow, it's all the mold inside, well, it spoils your lens, all right? And then you need to get to the manufacturer for surface, all right? Need some, maybe $1,000 for cleaning, just cleaning. You open up the lens, clean up the mold, right? The other thing that, now, you see there's a plastic wrap or plastic wrap. This is the original plastic wrap. When you buy a lens, it will go with a plastic bag like this. Did you remember? Did you throw away that bag? Everybody will throw away that bag. But I tell you this, that bag is very, very useful. Alright? If you say one day you want to sell it, alright, or then you wrap it and store it, it will not scratch, alright? Because if you put in a box or something storage, and the lenses can hit against each other, alright, and it will make scratches. Right? If you go to a second, the buyer, the second-hand buyer, look at it, oh, there's some scratches, all right? And you will need to reduce your price, all right? So if this one, you wrap it, will avoid scratches, all right, if storage. Next slide, please. And I told you the dry box is very important. Right, in Hong Kong or elsewhere, it is a humidity is high. All right, you see that all the lenses or camera are usually wrapped with the plastic bags. All right. Next slide. The straps. All right. There are many straps that go with the camera, but I usually use my own strap. This is wider and so-called pressure relief straps, all right, is better if you wear it for a long time, all right, during the day you're shooting. And the lens hood very important. Many of us, when I start taking photo, I throw away the lens hood, all right. The lens hood is very important. Number one is to reduce the flare and glare on the side light coming to the lens, right? And the other thing is protect, all right? Especially you go into a very close object, all right? Some trees or some hard objects in front, and the lens will protect the front element of the lens, all right? Really, the lens hood is very important. Especially telephoto. The next slide. Now this telephoto lens I put, this hood I do not show you, I just show you the lens. If I go for shooting, I put in the long lens hood for this one, all right? This is a medium telephoto lens up to 200 millimeter. We call a medium telephoto lens. A super telephoto lens, any value above 400 millimeter focal length will be called a super telephoto lens. Okay? Next slide. Tripods very important, right? Everybody got a tripod with you? Tripod very important for slow shutter and also for long shutter photography, especially night photography, right? Next slide. I have quite a a number of this tripod, but now I just use this one, this type of system, the Aka suite. Because the Aka suite is most popular, don't waste too much money on buying other system, right? Why? Because I have some painful experience. I bought some other brands, and when I forgot to bring the camera plates, and I asked my friend, "Oh, do you have this the extra plate?" And they said, "No, I'm not your system. I'm not." But most of my friends or most photographers use this Aka suite, right? So make sure what type of system are you using or your friend are using. If you go to for a trip and you forgot or you do want to an extra camera mount, then you can share. All right, you go, oh, I forgot to bring the camera mount. Well, how about you? Oh, Aka suite, okay. Then you can share among yourself, and it's better in this way. Next slide. Filters. In the film era, I have too many filters. 10, 20. Now nowadays with the digital, you can correct many things in the Lightroom, Photoshop. Nowadays, I just use these three. This graduated neutral density filter. So the upper end is darker and then is clean. The next one is CPL circular polarized light filter. The third one is the ND or neutral density filter. Right? This is very important. We're taking waterfall in a slow shutter. Right? Or if you go to daylight, if you want to have a action or the very slow shutter speed, all right, the boys are running or playing football, you need to have some blurring of the object, then you need to this ND filter. For this one, if you take the sky is so bright, but the ground, the mountain or the ground is so dark, all right, the contrast is very, very big. So you need this to reduce the upper part, the sky, all right, so make the exposure much better, all right. Next slide. Flash. Sometimes it's a very small one, all right, it's a LED flash, it's an ordinary flash. Flash are very important in indoor and studio, all right, because nowadays the camera, the manufacturer, they produce very good sensor, and the technology is improving and improving. So the flash, the use of flash, it become less, right? But it's still very useful, right? Anything you want to get more light on the object, all right? Next slide. Now the object, the second important issue. The object available when you are taking the photo. Next slide. Now this is in Hokkaido, Japan. There's the lake all frozen with the ice. The edge is still water, and the swan is they are moving and relaxing, and some other swan very far away. They are flying here and there in the sunset. So there are many objects or subjects you want to put in the photos. You can pick this one, you can pick the mountains, you can pick this one, right? So this is your creativity there that you want to pick up, right? Next slide. Now you use your insight and creativity. Now this, when I go down there, is wow. The first time I go down, I do. In fact, I bought 2 white shirts, very cheap one, right? And maybe spilled with wine. Beforehand, I knew that. Right? But I did not put anything to protect the camera. Wow, they steal all the red wine to me, right? And all the my shirt become red, from white to pink, all right? Like this guy, in fact it's a white, right? But now become pinkish, all right? This the wine that squeeze, throwing the bottle everywhere, all right? Very crazy, all right? The second time, after I clean up my camera, I use a plastic wrap to wrap around the lens and the body. And after I finish, all the bags are sticky with the red wine. All the plastic bags are outside. All right. Luckily, the camera is still working. All right. Now this is the same guy. I cropped it the one before. Now, which one do you think is better? Now this guy. Right? Look at my direction or to this guy, and the next slide is different. What's the difference? Which one you like better? The first one or the second one?
The first one.
How many the first one? How many the second one? Now, I asked some of my some photographers, even number. There are some like this one, all right, is more concentrate on the expression of this guy. How about the first one? But the other, this is more of the events, all right? All the spill out the wine there, and also this connection of this guy to this guy. All right. In fact, I like this one better, myself. All right. This guy is looking to me, towards me, or this. I stand just behind this gentleman there. All right. And those connection, this one with this one, or with the photographer. All right. So it's a connection. That I feel better. Next one. Next one. Now this is here in Hong Kong, right? They are yearly. You can go, right? Next year around April. Every year there will be a drawing competition for the children. Very good. You can, because there's a photo contest. All right. The parents know that there were some people taking photos. They will not, afraid their kids being photographed. All right? So this event is very good. The atmosphere very good. All right. Next one. Now this one is they are finished the drawing and go to hand the picture to the volunteers. Next one. Now closer, all right. It's a closer, cropped it, all right. Subtraction, after subtraction, right. I like this one better, all right. This is more of the expression, the showing off the artwork, the drawings, right. Next one, landscapes, right. Landscapes, right. Now this one is taken in Australia, right? The Avis rock, or nowadays called the Uluru, the native word Uluru. The Australian people now respect the native name more than the Avis rock. Right? They do not use the Avis rock anymore, right? Now the thing is that there's a certain rule, all right. Later we'll talk about composition, but now this area and this area. This around 2/3, this 1/3, all right? This is usually the rule. But rule is not a fixed rule. You can put it in the middle. I try to put it in the middle. But in the middle, there's lots of portions too busy, lots of stuff there. So I try to make the sky more, all right? Put this there, all right? And the shadow of people and the bushes will be okay. And the shadow light is pointing towards the object I want to take. All right? Next slide. Now this is in Japan. It's autumn, all right? All the trees become golden yellow, all right? And the tree behind is a different colors, all right? The object over there, all right? Next slide. Now this is a similar, all right? Try to express the golden color of the clouds in the sunset in Australia, this one. And the foreground is this birds and this small island there, all right, sand dunes. Next one. This is one of my favorites, all right? It's in Antarctica, and the people. The title of this photo is called "The Invaders." Invaders. Who are the invaders? These guys are the invaders, all right? I'm the native here, all right? All right. So this single penguin is balance out the whole lot of people in the background. All right. Those are sunrise. The light is good. The side light. All right. Later I will talk about light. Usually landscape, like the one I showed you in the Uluru, that one is not too appealing. All right. This we call it direct light. Direct light. In Chinese called 正光, direct light is not too appealing. That one are just ordinary photo. Oh, okay. Is it okay? Yeah. Accidentally put off the button. Now this is a side light. The light coming from the light is coming from the right side, all right, from a mountain. So lights up the clouds there, and the people are in some shade area, and the shadow is like this, all right. Next one. Now portraits, right? Portraits. Next one. Now portraits. If you go out for shooting portrait, usually you need the natural lighting. But sometimes you need a flash with you. You get a flash, right, for spare. Sometimes you need to light up the face, especially the jaw area. If you have the light, usually the natural light will come from above like this. Then this area, the neck and the jaw area will become dark. Alright? So people taking portraits, sometimes you use a reflector. Somebody use a reflector or a flash to balance the lights to the chin area. Okay? Now this is basically a natural light. I do not use any flash at all. Alright? So she's also a tourist, but the thing I like is that the sunlight from the other window, the next window, they shine the light there. Alright? That include in the object, all right, surrounding this object. And the windows are beautiful. The window frames are beautiful. All right, these are antique, more than 300 years old. All right, this type of wooden structure. All right, in Shanghai. All right. Next slide. Oh, this is this funny, all right? This this little bird, all right, is flying to the head, all right, and playing with this this kid, all right. It's a very funny picture, all right. And this is also natural lighting, all right. Next one. Next slide, please. All right. Now this is Hong Kong, all right. Some the maid is say they have a holiday there, all right. Oh, they are talking. Take a photo. Now the portrait, very important. If you take a portrait or any person up to here, you need to include the elbow. If I put it like this, without the elbow, it's no good. All right, like this, no good. Right? If you want to show the head, next slide. Next slide. Now you just show this. All right, shoulder, or a little bit below, like the boy with the parrot, small parrot, right? Include up to the shoulder. All right. Next one. And also, if you were taking people, many a time I saw people, the lower part without the feet is worse. Right? I was taught by a traditional photographer. They need to see the feet. If you take the whole body, you get upper part of body, either you above the knee. All right. If you take the upper part of the body, you need to include the elbow, the hands. Sometimes you refrain, cut out the hand, no good. No more hands. Alright? Alright? So you upper part more the head, just like I show you here. The shoulder. Alright? If you more, show more, you need to show the elbow and the hands. Alright? At least one hand. Nature and wildlife.
Our food is here, so maybe we can take a break, eat food, and continue listening.
Oh, good. Well, in that case, I'd like to, I brought some photos. You can have a look. But when you look at the photo, your hands put on the edge of the photo. Because sometimes need to, for display or something, I need that, right? I do not want to print it again. You can pass it around, and this one is displayed in the it's one photo. One of the contests, and displayed in one of the celebration of the Republic of China in the 64th anniversary, right? Yeah. Oh, this one is also a one photo before many, I think 15 years ago. This one is in Alishan in Taiwan. This one is taken in new territory. I think the Fongyuan. Fongyuan is there's a lot of butterfly there, right? nowadays less number because they have sprayed too much insecticide, right? But this is, if you a photo an insect, right, or butterfly or whatnot, you need to, the head, the eyes must be in focus, sharp, right? Just like people, if you take a portrait, the eye must be in focus. If your eye is not focused, no good, all right? This is a waterfall slow shutter, right? This is twisting lamp, right? It's a slow shutter portrait. The eyes must be sharp, right? The eyes must be sharp. How do you do this? Is very slow shutter, maybe 1/30 or 1 to 1/15 of a second, very slow. When the girl is dancing, and then you, during the pressing the shutter, you like this, the camera, yeah, the camera. Then it will be, the center will not move a lot, will not move the center. This is the center. I crop it, is a large, right? The center will not move, but the side is moving, circle. Right? Okay, maybe have some refreshment at the same time. All right, next slide. Now this is also, of course, the original will be larger, all right? Right? You have no time, right? With the nature photography, you need to quick in action, you respond fast. Unlike studio, you can put the light and ask a model to sit there. Here. Nature, don't wait, right? So you need quick, fast, right? So if you, I saw that this maybe 1 second to put it, and then the mother go away, right? So that in that snap, you take a photo, right? But I cropped it down, and it's also one in competition, right? Next one. Now this is in the nick of time, less than 1 second, right? The title is called The Heart Kiss, right? The beat is so hard, right? Heart hinged together, all right? This one is an eagle in Hokkaido, Japan. Next one is in Africa. So this bird, in fact, is a hornbill, is sitting here, and we point to the bird, waiting. Right? You need patience. All right? You need patience. And when you take for a long time these birds, you know when it will jump up. All right? Number one, it will boo-boo. Before it fly, it boo-boo. All right? That's dependable. All right? Not always, but many times. The second one is shaking the feathers, all right, and begin to fly, all right. So if you take a picture, stand here, and then fly, it's very different altogether, all right. It's action, all right. Next one. Now this one, all right. The twins. Next one. This Pacific sea turtle is in Galapagos, right? It's difficult to take photos because always this is under the water. But however, this one is the male, this is the female below. They are mating. They're mating, right? I got some underwater photograph for this, but not this lecture. All right, next one. Architectural, there are several points in architectural photography. Now, the lines must be straight. The vertical line must be vertical. The horizontal line must be horizontal in principle. Sometimes you cannot, right, in principles. There's a lot of, in architecture, you show shapes, lines, and colors, all right? Shapes, lines, and color. The yellow, the blue, complementary colors, all right? It's a good picture, all right? Next one. Now, it's in Russia, all right? When you take this type of photo, either you frame in a frame all the trees around that. If you put something like that, you need a way to let go. All right? Do not close it. If you want to close it, all closed by trees. Okay? Framing. Next one. Many of the people, they take this Catherine Palace just like it flat. You take the Catherine Palace flat, it's flat. Alright? But if you take this angle there, it's different. Right? The sunrise, Catherine Palace, Russia, St. Petersburg. Next one. Now also this one, if I put it horizontal, it's not too appealing. It's a diagonal. All right, I choose it. Next one. Architectural also is straight. It's also in Russia. All right. It's it's abandoned church. All right. Next one. Now this is Notre Dame, Paris. I took this one maybe 20 years ago in the first era of the digital camera. The digital camera at that time is only 5 million pixels, all right? Very small, but all these are gone now, no more. It's all burned up, all right? Next one. Now this one, straight, all right? Now this is a curve, but try to make it straight, but it's okay. You see that it's all sharp here, and from very close, from the curve entrance to the tower, all sharp. Why? It's a very small aperture, all right? We'll talk about that. Next one. Aerial photography, next one, is also the Victoria Falls. Look at the river, all right. Next one, I showed you already, this one. Next one, this is Hong Kong, all right. Next one, this Africa, this shadow is the object, the main theme, all right. Also the animals, the balloons. Next one, also taken from helicopter, is New Zealand, the Bangkok, Southern Alps, all right. Next one, sports and action, is slow shutter, all right. So you need a tripod, all right. You need a tripod to get a resolution. It's 1/30th of a second, something like that, right? And when she jump up, I take a photo, but in the highest point is a moment is stationary, all right? But it's still moving, all right? The hand is still moving the scalp, like this. So I took a photo. Next one. Now this one is also action, right? Next one. It's a bullfighting. All right, action. So I include some spectator, right? If this in the center, no more spectator, I purposely include the spectators. Next one. I like this one, right? It's my friends. There's a couple. The wife is sitting on the bike, is riding a bike. It's a Pam shot. All right. Follow the object very slow shutter, 1/50th of a second. All right. Then you got the background blurred, right, and the action, all right. But it's sharp. The eyes are all sharp in focus. Next one. Macro photography is if you're taking flowers, the inside the pistil and the stamen must be sharp. All right. Next one. Must be sharp or blur. Macro lenses do this. Next one. Now this is also sharp or blur. Next one. The object you want to take into the main field must be sharp. Next one. Monochrome infrared. Right? The monochrome photography you need to express is more difficult than color. Many a time the monochrome you express lines, textures, right, and shapes. Right? This is all lines. All right. Lines. In general, straight lines are more appealing than horizontal lines, because this is do with the mind, our mind. All right. Next one. But this is texture. The other one. Next one. Now, these are all holes, circular holes. This is a Manhi Reservoir. It's a dam in Hong Kong's in New Territories. Now this type of style is called fill, F-I-L-L, fill. You fill up almost all the picture with the same or similar patterns, but you need some standout tool and the people there. All right, a triangle over there. All right. All the lines of circle. This is a good picture. Next one. Now, portrait is difficult in black and white, all right? But this is the lady about the church, all right? If all black is no good, so I spare one area with an empty space, all right? Next one. This is an infrared. I sometimes talk the infrared. This is a Kowloon city, the old city. The trees become white. The green become white slowly. Snow, something like that. Next one. Commercial fashion wedding. I rarely do commercial. All right. This is the journal, the society I'm with. It's, this issue is fashion to photography. Next one. For fashion, the same thing if is in studio, right? Can one of you tell me what are the direction of the light source? Yes, on the left side. One. How about the other one?
Back side.
Pardon me?
Backlight.
Backlighting. Good. All right. Next one. Now this is in Paris. All right. Next one. The wedding. Sometimes I did some wedding photos. This is backlighting. Next one. Now, sometimes your friends or relative has some events. Say, try to not to say take some more interesting photograph. For example, this the hand of the bride and bridegroom, and this must be the parents, all right? So this is sensational photo. Next one, fine art conceptual. This thing I showed you, this one, photograph. All right, this photograph I present for the RPS, the Royal Photographic Society. All right, these are all conceptual fine arts photography. Next one, this is graffiti work in Central, in Shanghai. Now this is like this. The main theme is bouncing. The next one is a sharp, like a knife, all right, and then red. So you can think of many things, or maybe bleeding, all right, a sharp, a knife coming here and a tiny, well, you can. This all conceptual, all right, depends on the onlooker. Look at what he or she might think about that. All right. Next one. This is my daughter's picture. This I turned it into black and white, like a painting. All right. Next one. This one I took. I showed my friends something. Oh, you start to paint. All right. No, I told them it's not a painting. It's a photograph. It's a photograph, right? Next one. Next slide, please. Yeah. Now turning it into a Chinese type of painting, right? So is called a conceptual fine arts. Those are, but you need some work on Photoshop, right? Next slide. Now this is taken in mainland China. This is very funny tube. It's like this. Do you see this before? This is a reflector lens. The reflector telescope you heard of to look at the astral body, the sky, the stars, is the same mechanism with this lens. It's called a reflector lens. With the reflector lens, the background will be something like this, mini circles, tubes. Next one. Night and long exposure. Now this is nighttime. You need a tripod. Next one. This is Sydney. Next one. This in Australia as well. Next one. Next one. Now how to take good photos. Next one. You need to master your camera. If you buy a camera, you need to look at the manual. All right? You need to look at the manual because every camera, there's some difference. You master your camera, the settings, you get a proper exposure and focusing. All right? Next one. Basically, the camera works in this way. The lights coming, the object you want to photograph, to the camera, lens, and the sensor or the film. This you have the ISO sensitivity and you get an image, right? So ISO sensitivity means how they sense the light, right? Next one. You've got a low ISO, there's a low light sensitivity, but the image very sharp, where the noise will be less. Minimal. If you have high ISO, the noise will be high but brighter. You get a shutter speed, you get a very low shutter speed, become brighter, become darker, and also a small aperture. The F value is the aperture. Small aperture, very dark. If you have a large aperture, become bright. You notice the F value is inverse proportion. If you have the small number, the aperture is larger. If you have a larger number, the aperture is smaller, is opposite, all right, inverse proportion, okay? Next slide, please. Now, this is also the so-called exposure triangle, all right? If you increase the shutter speed, it will freeze the image. If you lower the image slow, you blur the image. If you increase the f number, that means the aperture becomes smaller and smaller. Then the depth of focus, all right, the depth of field will be very large, very long, all right, from focus from here to there or in focus, all right. In scenery, you need to do that, but in portrait, opposite, you need a large aperture, okay? The ISO sensitivity, higher, there will be higher noise, low will be lower noise. Next slide. Oh, okay. So because the time is running out, I need to stop here. Any questions? Sorry, maybe I am too slow. Yes?
So in some of the action photos, there were like the blur. Never mind. So you said you use pretty low shutter speed, like 130. So, but then how did you get like the background and the rest of the photo blurry because of the low shutter speed? But then how did you get the subject to be clear? Because if you have a low shutter speed, usually like my experience, the whole photo really blurry because it's like.
Yes, very good. The question is that with a low shutter speed, you will get a blur image. Maybe. Are you somewhere? Hello. 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 Oh, it's okay. Is this one okay or this one okay? The thing is that if you do not, now for example, that lady riding in a bike, in a bike, right? She's sharp, but the background is blurred. Okay? I follow the lady so that the speed, my camera moving speed is the same, the arc of movement is the same as the lady. So it did sharp, but the background all blurred. See my point? Yeah, you need to, suppose you are moving, I follow you, follow you. The subject will be sharp. If I station the camera, if I do not pan, it's called panning. If I do not pan, the lady will, I just put there all blur. It's called a pan shot. All right? Any other questions? Yeah?
What lens do you usually use? Like, how long are the lenses do you usually use for your portraits? Like,
Pardon me?
oh, like how long are your lenses for portraits? Like, are they 50 fixed or like?
Now, because the portrait, the studio, for example, if you're too low, the shutter speed, the model will move. Right? You cannot put too slow shutter. And also the light, the flash synchronized is around 1/200 seconds or 1/250 seconds. you synchronize. So the shutter, the aperture, we use as wide as possible, all right, until the exposure will be all correct. So sometimes, many a time, the studio light, we do not turn it in full power. Only one-eighth, 1/4 the flash. I just show you the last three slides. Last. Oh, discussion. Now, discussion. Now, it's next one. Now, there will be a souvenir for you, all right? Now, anybody tell me what's the wrong with this photo?
The horizon is in the center.
Very good, all right? Is the horizon is not horizontal. It's a little souvenir for you. Yeah. Now, any other problem with this photo?
I don't think it follows the rule of thirds enough because you see like it's kind of in the middle but not enough, like it's not like two-thirds.
Now, any other problem?
Could you say like there's too much noise, like chromatic, too much like noise or like
Yeah.
details?
Yeah, this noise, well, because it's taken 20 years ago, the camera is not too good. It's okay, good. Any other problem? This is taken in Alaska, the glacier is melting. Any other problem with this photo?
There's a black object on the, but it's not enough to show what it is, so it looks like it's orange.
Do you hear it? Do you hear it? You heard it? If the black object is on the right, but not showing too much of it, right? Good. Wow, so good.
So, it's not balanced. Not balanced, all right? So, next one.
Any problem? Any other problem?
The grain, the quality. No,
The noise.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, noise, already.
Oh. I don't know.
Next one.
So then-
Now, this one is much better. All right? Next one. Now, last one. Any problem with this photo? Now, this lady stand out, very bright, good, right? Lighting, all sorts of things, good. What's the problem?
She's not in the center. Is that a problem?
Not exactly.
She's like kind of on the side and there's like a lot going on.
Usually, if I take the subject matter, I usually put in the so-called the golden area is a little bit offset,
Yeah.
but not always, right? Anybody? Hey, your turn, all right? You try.
Her feet are cut out and the stick in the middle is like slanted. It's not like vertical completely.
Pardon me?
Her feet are like cropped out and the stick in the middle it's like diagonal a little bit. So it's not like completely vertical.
Not exactly, because
This is still something you can see, right? Anybody?
you try first.
There are shadows, like head shadows of the people.
There's a minor.
I
It's a
think
major. It's important, all right? In future, you need this concept there.
there's people that are kind of
Pardon me?
There's people that are cut out on the side. So you can only see his hand.
Not exactly. What do you think about this red rod?
It's splitting the image. It's like splitting the image in two.
Good. Good. Tell them.
The red rod in the center of the image splits the image into two so that it doesn't become one complete image.
This is wrong. This is the major mistake. All right?
In Chinese, we call 破中, means breaking in the middle. You split the image into 2 parts. Alright? So if I take this again, I will try to avoid this and this one on the side or crop this. Right? Alright? Many a time we take pictures. Well, these are 2 pictures in fact. Alright? Avoid this. Alright? This is an extreme example. The rock just put in the middle. It's called the destruction by the middle. Or in Chinese word called 破中. 破中 means breaking the picture. Alright? In the two. Right? Okay. I give you another one. Okay. So, thank you. These are 2 calendar left. Maybe you, if you I give to Cheryl so that you can